Hello, gorgeous people. Um, does being an empath actually hurt or help your sales in business? Hmm. I guess that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm Johanna. I'm an intuitive business coach, and I absolutely love helping people double 10x their incomes with their businesses that they absolutely love, 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 love. They're aligned to their soul's purpose, their soul's gifts, and they're sharing their magic out in the world. So today I just want to be able to kind of outline, what is it like to be an empath in business? You know, we all know the sleazy car salesmen that try and sell us cars, and then we regret our decisions the next day. Nobody wants to feel like that. And as an empath, we feel a lot, right? And as we move through this third dimension into the fourth dimension, our feelings are actually important. They're actually part of how we're evolving. We are more than a computer. We need to be more than a computer because computers can't feel. And that's what differentiates us between all this technology and these robots and everything. We're human. We have this beautiful ability to be able to detect frequency and vibration, which is emotion, which is energy in motion, right? So why is that our superpower? And why is it so important for us? If you're here, please say hi. I see you. Why is it so important for us to focus in on the benefits of being an empath and not the deficits, right? As the deficits, we're feeling everybody's feelings, and how do we cope with that? And we don't want to manipulate them. We don't want to sell them something that they don't necessarily want. But ultimately, especially if you're providing a service, you're going to take the risk of rejection, personal rejection. I used to own a hotel, and believe me, I got some lovely reviews online about my inept ownership of the hotel. And I had put my heart and soul into this business. And so when you get a not so nice review, it hurts. It kind of stings. And I would say that out of 100 people, maybe one or two would actually leave us a not so nice comment. And I would focus in on the one or two versus the, hey, Dina, hi, Jerry, lovely to see you. Thanks for saying hi. I would focus in on the negatives, the rejections, and try and be the perfectionist. But ultimately, you're never going to be perfect for everybody. You're always going to do your best, right? But there's always going to be some room for improvement. We're human. We're always looking to evolve. That is who we are. And so it's so important for us to understand the rejection piece, but I'm gonna talk today about being an empath and how do we use it as our sales superpower, right? And there are 5 things. And if you want to sell something, maybe it's a product or service. I've sold millions of dollars worth of stuff, believe me. It comes down to communication. It comes down to connection. It comes down to the point where that person trusts, knows you, and likes you, right? Ultimately, I mean, even if you get sold a lemon in a car salesman, you must have liked that person. Otherwise, they're not, hey, Hope, hi, Andrea. Lovely to see you. I'm talking about how being an empath is your sales superpower. And ultimately, you've got to have trusted that person, to have given your money. And then, of course, the regret, the sadness, perhaps maybe the next day, or the upset at yourself is, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done something different. But that's really ultimately your own stuff. And that's, as a person who's selling a service, you have to come to the conclusion that it's not personal. It's not about you. Like I said, I had a hotel, and one day this lady came in, and, of course I was trying to be nice. I'm like, how was your day? How was your night? And they say, oh, it was awful. Like, the bed was the most awful bed ever. And we had to sleep the wrong way round, and we might as well have gotten better sleep in Motel 6. And I was horrified. I thought, oh my gosh, it's something to do with the bed. Something broke or something. So I have my staff, and we go into the room, and we all test the bed, and we're like, well, there's not much different between yesterday and today. There's nothing wrong with it per se. It's just an old funky mattress, but lots of people liked it. Anyway, so of course I take it personally, and I'm like trying to perfect it, but we don't have anywhere else for the next guests to come in, and of course, we're always trying to serve at the highest level, and we got 5-star reviews. It was a pretty good hotel, but this new couple comes in, and I'm terrified of asking them the next day how was their sleep. But, knowing me, I'm up for a challenge, and I asked them the next day, I said, so how was your evening? And they said, oh my gosh, we had the best evening, and that mattress is amazing. Well, as you can tell, it is a hopeless case to try and please everybody. You can just do your best. So knowing how to be empathetic and knowing how this is your superpower, right? You're going to want to help provide the best service, the best product, but you can't make everybody happy. So you've got to get to this point where you've got to bond with that person, and think of the sales process similar to dating, right? You certainly don't want to go on your first date and ask the person to marry you right away. That's craziness. So it's about the slow dance and helping somebody come to this conclusion that you are worthy of being able to provide this great service. And that starts from within. And being an empath allows for you to be really, really in touch with your feelings. And if you know that you can provide an amazing service for somebody, then that's ultimately the most amazing gift that you can give anybody. If you're here, hey, Peter, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, so you're an empath, you're sensitive, and you want to sell something. The first thing that you can get, number one, is use your empathy as our sales superpower, is connect with them energetically prior to meeting them. You can actually tap in and use your intuition and ask, what is this person needing of me? How can I best serve this person? And allow for that information. You can channel it, you can write it down, but just kind of intuitively figure out what is the best thing that you can do. I mean, obviously I do energy audits, and I tap into somebody's energy really, really strongly. Like, I can spend hours figuring out energetically what's going on with them. And then of course I give them an amazing in-depth reading about their business when we meet. But I've never met 95% of these people. So how do I do that? I tap into my intuition and my empathy and figure out what is both best aligned for how we can co-create together, right? We're moving from a place where we're just shoving things down people's throats and actually inviting people to co-create with us. And so the more connection you can have with your intuition prior to meeting somebody, or you could even, if you're going into an event or like a conference, you could tap in and find out what is the energy of this conference, or the people, maybe you're speaking to a group, tap into the energy of what they're speaking or what they want, and help connect with that. So that's number one. Number two, why being an empath is an amazing superpower, is that your marketing will already reflect your sweetness and kindness and your heart's intent. Before they've even met you, you've already created an environment for people to feel safe and wanted in working with you. So just know that everything that you've put together has already been with love. It's, love is going to be the new currency. We all need to learn to love ourselves and then love others and then co-create. That's the third dimension, which is like, we're all fighting for each other's attention. And then the fourth dimension of business is really figuring out how we can co-create together some magic. And that's why it's so important to be really aligned with what you're serving. If you don't believe in what you're providing as a service to somebody, then they're not going to believe it either. So it's really, really important for you to connect with the service that you're providing. That's why I don't own the hotel anymore. It's because it's not my heart's content. Like, it wasn't me. It wasn't authentically me. I did well in the business. It was great, but it didn't light me up. And coaching absolutely lights me up because I love it when my clients get ahas and they make tons of money, and it just like, juices, gives me goosebumps. So that's most important, is that if you're lit up with what you're doing, you're already going to have created marketing materials that have that love and empathy and that kindness and sweetness already in what you're providing. So your clients are already going to feel that. And that's really, really important part of the bonding process with your clients. Because remember, it's know, like, and trust factor. So you want to be able to bond with people prior to them giving them they giving you their money. So number one is meeting somebody energetically prior to meeting with them. Then your marketing. Number three is you're a great communicator and a great listener. As an empath, you totally have your heart in the right place. So your ability to have empathy with other people and what they need, and really focus in on what exactly is their needs and their wants. Hey everybody, hi Amanda, and thank you for saying hi, Danielle and Kundan. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for being here. When you get in touch with your heart, you're able to then connect with their hearts. And so you're listening, being an empath, oh my goodness, you are the best listener ever. So this is a superpower, people. I mean, I know that you probably take this for granted, but I promise you, you go on LinkedIn or you go to a huge, massive, tens of thousands of people conference, they're all in it for themselves. They're all in 3D. And when we start to ascend, when we start to go into the fourth dimensional experience of fourth dimensional business, it's about our emotions. It's about connecting with people. And especially if you're providing a heart-based service, this is going to be crucial for you to communicate with yourself, love on yourself, and then love on others. You have to be on the vibration of love. You have to be able to know that what you're selling is going to help this person. It's going to make their life so much better. And if you believe it, they'll believe it. And if it's in resonance, right? Because we're all co-creating with each other. So definitely value the fact that you're a great communicator and a great listener, and use it as a superpower, because it's you didn't come by your maybe you were empathetic as a child and you have a lot of kindness for others, but I'm probably guessing that you've spent some last few years especially becoming more adept, more in intimate with your own feelings and your own emotions and understanding all the frequencies and vibrations, because this is a baby step for the fifth dimension, where we're all going to be starting to co-create our own environments, where we're going to become the creators of our world. And fifth dimensional business is really focusing in on how we create with the collective. And we're in this training ground at fourth dimension right now. So we're understanding frequency, we're understanding vibration, and we're taking baby steps, and we're really believing in the power of that higher frequency. And then when we really we're in resonance, when we're total alignment, everything else kind of comes our way. So number 4 is people pleaser. Now, that could be taken wrongly, but if you're an empath, you want to co-create with people. You want them to be happy. You want to serve them in some way or another. And so this people pleasing, I have a video on my YouTube channel about people pleasing, how it's awesome, because ultimately, it was a survival mechanism. The reason why you learn to be a people pleaser is a survival of how you created your safety, right? Maybe there wasn't such a safe environment when you were growing up, and you may be exposed to more criticism or any other ugly things. And so you became hyper vigilant of how other people were behaving, because you had interpreted that other people's behavior made you feel unsafe, and therefore when you feel unsafe, you didn't feel very good, and you had this anxiety, and so you wanted everybody else to feel good so that you could feel good, right? You've learned that as a coping mechanism because you didn't want to be alone. And of course, as a child, that's a survival mechanism. But as an adult, now this is your superpower. This is something that's really, really powerful that you can use in your sales techniques and working with people and bonding with people, is how, figuring out what is it that they want, what is it they need, have a state of curiosity. And as a people pleaser, you can definitely serve them to the highest. You're going to get 5 stars, right? You're an excellent customer service person. Believe me, I worked in the hotel industry. There are people who really don't care. They really don't. They have no empathy whatsoever. They do not care whether that person is upset or not upset or has any kind of enjoyable experience. But as an empath, that's your superpower. That's your brilliance. And number 5 is that you can hold space. And I'm going to be talking about that in a different video about vision in the sales process. But one of the most important things about being a sensitive and helping people is that you can hold the vision of what that product or service can actually provide for them. Maybe it's a new lipstick. It could be as simple as a lipstick, but you could envision, because you're so connected with your emotions and your ability to envision things, and you're able to really go into the future and help somebody feel better, because you have all these amazing skills of people pleasing and empathy. You can actually then kind of hold this idea that when they wear this lipstick, they're going to feel like Madonna or something, just like, wow, I'm amazing. And if you can hold that space for them, then they can feel into that. Maybe people aren't empathetic that you're selling to, but most people can feel whether you're in a state of kindness and a beautiful vibration. So thank you so much for listening. And Jerry says, felt that and knew it as a child, but shut it down because I had no idea how to handle it, and did not like to be around other children. Took too many years to work it out. That's so true, right? As an empath, we get overwhelmed with other people's feelings. But if you're going to be in business, it's going to be really, really, really important to empower your boundaries. And of course, that's another conversation. But I want you to know that being an empath is actually a phenomenal gift. And don't look at it as a downside, but actually look at it as something that you have as your superpower. And remember that it's so important to think of the sales process as like dating. It's not necessarily you go into your first date and you get married, right? But being able to not sell somebody, if you're in a state of anxiety and pushing the needs of you onto somebody else, that doesn't go very well, right? You never want this clingy salesperson. You want somebody who can help co-create some magic with you, whether it's a lipstick or it's a hotel room or whether it's coaching. The idea for all of us, as we become more and more connected to our own emotions and our own emotional state, it's super, super important to own that as a magic, own it as a talent and as a superpower, and then allow for everything else to unfold and practice boundaries, practice knowing that, ultimately, through the sales process, you're going to help them come to a new version of themselves. And that's a magical thing. That's a magical gift, right? When you're sharing your magic from your heart, that can actually then inspire people to have better lives, right? Can you imagine what it would be like if all of a sudden there's only one type of burger that you could eat for the rest of your life, or there's only one type of jewelry that is made, or one musician that makes the songs? No, 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 no. We don't want a world where there's only one choice. We want a world where there are multiple choices. There are multiple offers out there from multiple creatives. And you have that. You have a magic that needs to be shared and put out there into the world. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, but I love you. Thank you for sharing your magic, and keep on using your empathy as your superpower, because you're amazing. You're fabulous.